Okay. Stream should be working. I don't know. Stuff is haunted with our Wi-Fi, I guess, right now. Maybe we're doing server work on our network. We should be back. Gotta love the internet. Okay, you can hear me. Thank God I'm not alone. I guess I wouldn't be alone anyway. I got Jose right here.
Might have lost IG.
What?
Might have lost IG.
Oh. No, we got Instagram still. Yeah. There. Okay. Oh boy. Now I need to figure out where I was with my cable management. How I want to do this. Okay. All the things are now working. I am glad that all the things are now working. I'm back. Antivirus info, that's right. I've never had a good experience messing with any antivirus, really. I know Zydex has one, but I've never messed with it, so I don't know. But I just run Windows Defender, and it's pretty dang good. But there are people who know a lot more on the subject that have reviews out there online. Just make sure they're not sponsored reviews or whatever, you know? Because that happens a lot, and it's bad. Because it's super biased and not good. But, yeah. Thank you all for staying and waiting. It means a million. Keeps the stream alive. We're so back. Glad to have the loyal viewers we do. You guys are awesome. There's one stream I did quite a while ago. It was the one right before the Black Friday stream that had no... Oh! Dude, okay, I can see hydrate yourself on the second thing. I don't think I've been seeing it the entire time. Sick. I used to use Malwarebytes heavily, but switched to Windows Defender. Works really well, just be cautious and know what you're clicking on, and you'll be fine. That is beautiful advice. Good advice. Best antivirus is common sense, but stuff does happen anyway, even just bad luck. Welcome back, good to see you back in chat. Aw, so I can't download things like I'm a kid again. Maybe don't. You know, like... I know free Minecraft 2026 free download, 100% virus free sounds awesome and all, but be careful. And maybe don't pirate games in super sketchy manners. That's bad. Wait, where? Oh. No, I'm just installing the AIO. I'm not stopping you. I'm enjoying live blood. Do whatever you want. So real. That's my favorite. You're telling me it's not real? I have my suspicions about it. Yo, Josue, when do you have to go? Oh, yeah, this is gonna take a while longer. Probably got blocked. The free Minecraft. And let's see. I'll try to hurry up this up, but this is a build I want to make.
If you have to end it, you know how to do it.
Okay. Yeah, I just want this build to look nice, you know? So you're going?
Soon, yeah.
Okay. Alright. I'm gonna move this comb up. No, not really. That looks nice. And then I probably should pre-wire the GPU, eh? Bye-bye, mystery person. That was Josue, aka, I forgot his tag. Shit, it's something like Brosway or something. Yo, what do you think about RAM prices? Ooh, the hot topic. It sucks. It's sad. Dude, the RAM kit that I bought, like, a few months ago, I checked Amazon, like, the listing I bought from, and it went up from, like, I paid, like, $200 some odd, and now it's over 900. And now I'm just tempted to sell my RAM and just hope that the prices go down inevitably. But, yeah, scary. Nice looking case. Yeah, I love the Tenrite. King Bros Way, that's right. That's his tag. Easy money, but then ramless. Even if I sold one stick, I could probably get 300 for that. Just one stick of RAM, man. It's insane. Wow, lol, it's gold at the computer world. Yeah, it's... You know what, it's, I don't know what it is, actually, at the computer world, because gold is always valuable. But then, RAM prices hit DBZ, it's over 9,000. Yeah, I realized after I said it over 900, I realized. But, yeah. Gold is always valuable, though. RAM is normally cheap. Like, dirt cheap. Like, less than 10% of what it is now, I swear. And, yeah. Should have put money in stocks too, true, man. Nvidia's stock is worth so much. But now it's not worth investing in because it's already big. And who knows if AI is actually here to stay like they claim. And their stock could just explode at any day now, depending on how the investors feel. But I don't know anything about the stock market. I'm not a financial advisor. I build PCs. So, yeah. It's going to be a long time before it gets better. That's the thing I'm hoping, is that, yes, it could be a long time before it gets better, but, like, what if it like, it's not gonna be gradual that AI dies, because so many people are invested in it. Again, I'm not a stock bro, but from what I do know, it's like, if there's a little dip in AI, and a little doubt, then all the investors doubt, then they pull out, and then the stock dips, and then more people pull out, and more people pull out, and more people, and then the stock tanks, and then AI is kind of dead. But I'm not a stock person, that's just from what I know. So, I'm just kind of banking on the idea that one day, randomly, RAM is gonna get cheap. And it could be 1,000,000 years, or an hour from now. You mean NVIDIA? Or, NVIDIA, NVID AI. Too true. I don't know how I missaid that. I'm very tired. It's the end of the week. I think they'll eventually push towards memory that is tailored towards AI or something. Money from both aspects might be good for companies. That is already kind of a thing. AI requires heavily on memory bandwidth. Which, how do you get more memory bandwidth? You have two options. Faster memory, or more memory running in parallel, so a wider bus. But wider buses require bigger and more expensive chips. I'm talking very much more expensive chips For example, the 5090, its bus width is 512. So it can handle up to 16 chips at once in parallel. It can also run 32 chips at once, but it only has the bandwidth of 16. It's a whole thing. But yeah, that's already a thing. Is RAM for AI is just VRAM, and then also just RAM in general. And that eats up NANDs, which NANDs are the little chips that are manufactured that are meant for SSDs and memory. So that demand for VRAM and RAM causes insane cost to the customer in terms of just making RAM more expensive. However, there's a third option, which is manufactured, I think, by NVIDIA when they do it. I don't think it's made by SK Hynix, Micron, or Samsung like every other RAM chip is, and that's HBM. Sorry, I'm missing a lot of chat messages because of Nightbot. Thanks a lot, Nightbot. But HBM is literally just more silicon, and that is insane for AI. It is the best of the best in terms of AI performance, and that would be great for everybody if AI just moved to using only HBM, because then it would make NAND prices cheap. But that's not... HBM is so unbelievably expensive to manufacture. It's a whole thing, so it's not very common still. Hopefully it is one day. But you know, it's... that is a good idea, though. You are right. But... let's see. By the way, if I miss anyone's chat messages, please feel free to resend them. I use AI to code stuff for me almost in the daily. It's definitely here to stay. Yeah, but that's like the big thing, is like, it's here to stay, some things, but then it's like, okay, it's already pretty good at these things. Like, think of how good AI is for coding for you right now. Like, will it get better in the future? Like, just think of how it could be improved. There's not much more room for improvement, so then less effort would go to training it or whatever, you know? So, it's here to stay, but is it here to stay in the stock market is the thing. How much is this computer in total? I don't know. It depends on a lot of things. And I'm just not 100% sure. I don't have prices memorized, unfortunately. I'm not against AI, but I'm against generative AI. I don't know. Personally, okay. Ooh, everyone want to hear my hot take? AI is here to stay. Didn't you see the Terminator? My hot take with AI is I think it can be good for art. It can be. Very big asterisk. My grievance, personally, with art right now is like the point of art, in my opinion, this is all my opinion, and does not really reflect the opinion of anyone else, is like, a lot of the people I see complaining about AI art, it makes me mad. That there's a lot of people that complain with valid reasons, but a lot of them are like Twitter artists. Like, I get it. If you make something expressive, that's great. But a lot of them are just complaining, and it's about the money that AI is going to take from those artists. And AI does damage expression, in my opinion. And, like, human expression. That's, like, the point of art, is it's human expression. And, I just feel like that's the big issue, is it hurts human expression, not the money. Like, I get it, art is a job, and that is a thing, but it, like, I just don't like how art or AI is damaging human expression and not the money, which is what most people complain about, or that I see complaining about at least. It's like, yeah, that's my big thing. I'm against it for theft slash scamming of oh yeah, I get that, if like copyright material, you know, and that's something I don't really have anything to speak on personally. I've never had any of my own copyrighted material, and yeah, but that's my personal take on AI. I'm not saying it's the correct take or even necessarily a good take, but that is my take. Money is not my issue with it. Yeah, same here. It's just, it damages expression in my opinion. I think it can be good for some expression. Like adding accessibility for like amateur filmmakers, I think is a great idea. To like, not for movies. I don't think AI should be used to make movies. I think it should be used for like demos. Like if you're applying to a film school or anything like that, or going to work in film or be a director or something, like to make a rough draft using AI that you direct the small AI film to sample to the company. But obviously actors and actual humans doing a lot of the work is going to affect the quality and genuine feel of the art. Let's see. And then now I gotta put the top cover back on. But and then I got the SSD fan hub hooked up, so now I don't need any more of those. And let's see. I just gotta wire more fans. Always my favorite part, adding a million fans. I'm almost done here. I just have to finish the cable management on the fans and whatnot. Oh, there's also an RGB strip. Come on. There we go. If I ever order a PC from you guys, and I know you still work here, I'm going to request you build it. That is a thing you can do. Yeah, if you go through our sales system, or whatever, or like talk to the salesman, you can custom request. Which, yeah, I'd be happy to build your PC. A while back, we had one of our builders get requested, like, it wasn't any specific builder, they just had the build pushed. But then in the special instructions, they asked that whoever builds it, the customer wants them to sign their name on the case with a Sharpie, which was kind of cool. I liked that. And then she ended up, I never did see where she signed her name, but she did indeed sign the case, which I thought that was really cool. Didn't they have two computers some time ago that had talking AI to other computer and they had to turn them off? And they had talked to each other and we don't know what they were saying, lol. That's horrifying. I don't know if that's true, but they're not. I don't doubt you. I don't know the full story there, but like, I'm gonna have to look that up later. That's horrifying. AI can just develop a language for each other. What GPU should I give with the 7900 S3D? I played games like Valorant, Siege, Rust, Dark Raiders recently. Honestly, whatever GPU you can afford. Those are... I don't know about Arc Raiders, actually. I haven't played Arc Raiders. But the others aren't super intensive at all. And the 7900 S3D is a great chip. 6 cores with 3D V-cache. And, like, that thing could handle probably a 5080... 5080, 4090 territory. And then if you play at 4K, for sure it could handle pretty much anything. So, yeah, no. Just whatever GPU you can afford or whatever is financially reasonable. I agree, very scary if true. It has 2 Alexa-like devices, but they speak to each other and they began making their own language. Okay, that's horrifying, but at the same time, that is so cool. 10 years ago. That's scarier somehow. That was 10 years ago. Arc Raiders is so much fun. I gotta play it at some point. I'll get around to it one day. I have too many games in my Steam library I just don't play. Thanks, Goat. Yeah, no problem. I love giving recommendations and being asked questions. I love streaming. Can Intel 14th gen use DDR4? Yes, if you have a board that supports DDR4, like the Z690, Z790, B760, B660, like DDR4 versions, yeah. I think there's also, I don't know if Intel did Q chipsets. Those aren't relevant, but you know. Also, what is it? I forgot the name of the other Intel chipsets. The not the B, the Z. What's the other letter? Forgot. I know it's not A. A620 is AMD. I don't know. YouTube, terrifying moment 28. But I'm gonna put that in my phone. I want to see that. That's DJK. That's AMD. Yeah. Chipset names are wonderful and not confusing at all. It's at 70 and X870, and then there's X870E and X670E, which those are fun. Hold on. I really want to see this video of the AIs talking. What case is that? Good looking case. It is our Tenrai case. Yeah, they are available for purchase at Zydex. With a pre-built PC. I love this case. Building in it, and I think it looks very pretty. If I end up buying a case from here in the future, I will be getting one of these. But I already have a crazy case. Terrifying moment. 2 AIs. AI bots. Or, speak to each other in own language. What is the difference between X870 and X870E? For examples, what do the letters mean? Okay. I found the video. Oh, okay, yeah, I do know about that. That's like pre-programmed though, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, that's for like efficient communication. But that's kind of a cool thing. But as far as I know, that's pre-programmed or whatever. Okay, X870 and X870E. It's very silly, honestly. So there's a few standards that change. Like, it just adds connectivity. That's what you need to know. Wait, the front glass doesn't come off. Oh, it does. I just don't remove it. And I don't actually know how to remove it. I never have because I don't really have a reason to. per se? No, I'm very curious. I can use my screwdriver to drive the screws into where they need to be. But yeah, you'd have to look up the specs. I know S870E requires 2 lightning ports on the back I/O. I think this just does pop off. Never mind, it doesn't. Wait, does it? Oh yeah, it does. I think. There we go. Yeah, it does pop off. Oh yeah, there's screws down there if I'm not mistaken. Or something? I don't know. It's not super necessary to ever take it off really though. No real good reason that I can think of. Okay, fun. Like you have the S870P. What does the P mean? Nothing. That is ASUS's way to classify that board. Only thing that matters is the E or if it's not an E. That's the only difference. And them adding the P just makes it more confusing, just then it makes it seem like it has a difference. Like there's a difference between different vendors of boards, obviously, but not of the chipset and the chipset's capabilities. It's very silly. So you have an S870 board, but yeah, it is nice for Sling though if you work where I do. Because we just say the S870P, or we have the S870A, which is a Asus Strix whiteboard, or the B850 Max, which is this one. So it's kind of nice, but it's also not. Does you have to use a hammer to remove that front glass? I don't believe so, but how would I know? I know it does come off though. I've seen one coworker that had it taken off for whatever reason one time, but I don't know why they did that. I wish I wasn't stuck on console. Yeah, I mean, you're not necessarily stuck on console, you can buy a PC, but I'm sure you have your reasons why you are, but, you know, I'm just joking around with you can just buy a PC. I mean, you can, but there's also, if you had infinite money or whatever, you know. Maybe it's like Prime Performance? I don't know why Asus calls it their Prime line. Their Prime boards are just well-built, but kind of bare-bonesy boards. They're nice boards, and they perform really well for the price. But they do lack quality of life features, such as debug lights and stuff like that, which kind of sucks. But guess what? That's an us problem. That is something that owners of those boards that buy from Xidax won't have to worry about, is the lack of debug features, because we handle that. But I'm not sure why they call it Prime. It probably is Prime Performance, though. Almost every brand sucks at naming stuff, to be honest. So true. So it wouldn't be surprised me if it didn't mean anything. Yeah, the P doesn't mean anything. Or Prime, yeah. Oh my gosh, what was it? Okay, a little lore drop for you guys. So, I wasn't around when this happened, but Asus sometimes sends us fun stuff for whatever reason. They sent us a minifigure, and it was called Horseman. And it was this, you can look up a photo of him, and it was called Horseman. And it's this guy, it's just a guy with 2 guns standing on a little rock stand looking badass, but it's called Horseman, and it's Y. And no one knew why. I eventually found out. I don't tell anybody though at Xidax why, because it just kills the magic. But it's called the but it's supposed to be pronounced Horseman. And that's why, because he's the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse at once. And it's just such a silly name. And I don't know, Asus just has a history of naming stuff very silly. Money thing, I've been looking at this PC that is $400. It has a 1660 Super. Is that a good deal? Okay, yes and no. For a pre-built $400 for a 1660 Super, that's pretty good. I don't know. Last time I had to build budget, I can't really say 100% for sure if that's a good deal, because now I don't back when I got into PCs, yeah, that's a crazy deal. But I have built a PC for $200 at one point in my life. Still the most proud I've ever been of a build. Where I built a PC with a 1660 Super for $200. Which is one of the most insane builds I've ever done. I'm still so proud of it to this day. But honestly, if you want a good resource to check if something's a good deal or not, like when buying used, I like just asking Reddit is a good idea. Like, I'll admit, there are some things I don't like about Reddit and Reddit PC people that just kind of bother me randomly. Yeah, but on that front, it's a pretty good resource. And double check me, I believe that's a pretty good deal. I feel like you'd get more out of buying a Steam Deck rather than that. No, a 1660 Super is faster than a Steam Deck. It just happens to be that the Steam Deck typically runs just fine, even though it's kind of slow, because it is a small, low-resolution screen. Well, the Steam Deck isn't slow, don't get me wrong, but like compared to desktop hardware, you know? I want to be able to upgrade in the future. That is a good philosophy. Well, actually, okay, in that case, what else is in the PC? Because, like, if it's an AM4, like 50, like AMD 5000, 3000, 2000, 1000 series CPU, then that's a very upgradable machine. But if it's like old Intel, I wouldn't really recommend if you're really focusing for upgradability. But yeah, you'll get stuck on your motherboard eventually, and then you have to upgrade the CPU, RAM, and that's pretty much it. Just CPU and RAM when you have to upgrade that. Unless you're moving from one DDR4 board to another, one DDR5 board to another DDR5 board, then you'd have to change CPU, RAM, and motherboard. I don't know why I neglected to say motherboard initially, but you know. But AM4 is a beautiful platform for that sort of thing. Intel 7700. That's not super upgradable. It's a good, like, that's kind of the flagship of that socket. You can't, there's a mod that you can do to make 8th gen CPUs run on 7000 or 7th gen boards, if I'm not mistaken. The socket is electrically different. It's a weird thing. I don't know how it works. And I might be mixing up the socket types. But that's not super upgradable. Bad news. But yeah, just is a good introduction to PC stuff, though. I think that is a good starting point. And then, I don't know if you were in chat when I was talking about it, but if you get a cheap PC, and then you want to, like, breathe some life into it, look up lossless scaling on Steam. And Gamers Nexus has a phenomenal video on it. Linus Tech Tips also does have a pretty good video on it. I didn't watch through the full Linus one because I just saw the Gamers Nexus one first. So I just watched that one and then didn't have much reason to watch the Linus one. But it's a very cool program to enhance performance. It's on Steam, $7. But yeah. Also, make sure it has at least 16 gigs of RAM. That's one big thing that happens sometimes where people only get 8 gigs of RAM when they buy used like that, and then it murders all performance. Also, make sure it has both, at least 2 RAM sticks. The latest Intel to use the same socket is the 9th gen. Okay. Then it was indeed that. You can't upgrade from a 7th gen CPU to a 9th gen, kind of. It's a whole weird thing. And I don't know much on the subject of, I believe it's, I don't know. I kind of want to get more educated on it before I really start talking about it. Let me just look it up real fast. It is 4:30, so I do have to go. Because I leave work at 5, and I do have plans tonight, so... But, I'm enjoying streams, so I'll sacrifice a little time. Let's see. Okay, Oh! Yeah, never mind. I don't think that'd work for your situation. Unless I'm mistaken. I don't know. Just check what's compatible. I don't think that is necessarily... Like, that's just not upgradable in the first place, really. So, I don't know. I think that's a good deal. I think, again, you can... A good resource for checking if something is a good deal is, like, in terms of used stuff, Reddit's a pretty dang good resource. As much as Reddit bad, I know, but... I've never installed an LED strip on this case. It's kind of weird. I want it to look pretty, though, so... I always do my best to make sure that is what happens. But this is a pain in the ass. Yeah, from what I can read, they changed to a new version. Even though it says LGA 1151 on both. Yeah. Yeah. It's great stuff. Thanks, Intel. Old Intel, fun. I don't know why they did that. I remember they did that to me as well, kind of, where I had a 3960X for a long time, which, if I remember properly, was LGA 2011. But then they made an LGA 2011 V3. I don't know if they ever made an LGA 2011 V2, though, as weird as that is. Oh, come on. This strip does not want to go in nice. But... Okay, I should just build my own, or should I just build my own? If you trust yourself, yeah, I would say so. I think it's a very fun, good learning experience. But it does take some effort, which, yeah. Which, like, I think that's the thing with, that a lot of people miss with buying pre-built. Because, like, a lot of people will trash on pre-builts, and, like, they are just, like, an easy solution that buys you peace of mind. But some people, like, that's not a luxury everyone can afford, you know, so. But I would say me building my PC, I enjoyed a lot. And I had a crazy journey starting from doing crazy budget builds. So, but if you ever have questions about building, please feel free. Every day, or every Friday at 3, I stream. Feel free to ask me any question for, like, budget building. I have a question. Yeah, shoot the question in chat. I start around for an AM4 computer since the chipset has cheap CPUs, and I still got a cheap 5800X 3D. That is AM4. Oh my god, I love AM4. I still build with it decently often, and yep, that's really good advice. But the only issue is the 5800X 3D. They don't produce it at all anymore, and it's kind of just gone up in price from like what made it good. Which is a little unfortunate, but it is still a beautiful value platform. If I buy parts used, then where should I buy it from? What specs? That was your question. That's beautiful. I love that. The amount of what spec. I actually haven't gotten very many what specs questions today. Normally there's a ton in chat, but not many today. But anyway, sorry. I keep ADHDing out on multiple questions at a time. If I buy my parts used, where should I buy it from? Everywhere. eBay is beautiful. I've had nothing but good experiences personally with eBay. However, there are some people that have had negative experiences. The one time I ended up buying a GPU and it was dead. It was a 1080 Strix and it showed up DOA. I ended up just returning it. It was kind of pain-free. I did feel a little bad though, because it is just someone's GPU that died in shipping, but unfortunately, stronger packing methods should have been used. So, but that was the one time I had anything weird with eBay, but. And then Facebook Marketplace, oh my god, Facebook Marketplace is beautiful. That's how I ended up doing, so like, my big advice. Okay, oh yeah, thanks for the spec list, sorry. It has a B850 Max from Asus as the motherboard, 32 gigs of DDR5, 7700X, 5 terabytes of SSD storage, and a 9070 non-ST. Sorry, I'm... oh shoot, sorry, I missed one of the Twitch messages about the 5800X 3D. Prices of the demand of AM4 skyrocketed, so now they're more expensive than a new 9800X 3D. I'm gonna have to look into that. That's insane if they are. But anyway, here's the secret sauce I got. The way to build a PC for like $200, okay? Facebook Marketplace and patience. Lots of patience. And yeah, that's what I did. For me, and like looking for old office PCs is a great idea. Just an old, like, I think the one I found was like $40 or something. And that was the RAM, that was the CPU, that was the motherboard, that was the case, that was the power supply. But then office PCs oftentimes only have no more connectors for like a GPU. So what I did is I bought a second power supply, and it was kind of a weird thing. You can buy switches off Amazon that you can use to turn on a power supply, and you can plug that into the power supply, and then plug the GPU into that second power supply, plug that power supply into the wall, and then turn on the secondary power supply for just the GPU, and then turn on the PC. And then you can just throw any GPU in there. And that's how I ended up doing a full 1660 super build with, it was a 10100F, or a 10100 i3, which was a surprisingly competent gaming CPU. It had a 1660 super, 16 gigs of RAM, and then I got 1.25 terabytes of storage. And yeah, I'm super duper proud of that build and still to this day. And that is how I went to build a crazy budget system. But again, if you have any questions on that front, again, it might be a little sketchy every once in a while, but you know. I'm always happy to answer any of your questions. I upgraded from a 3800X to a 5900X on the same motherboard. It was a very good boost in performance. Yeah, the jump from Zen 2 to Zen 3 was pretty big. And you got a few more gigahertz and 4 more cores. So, alright, I think the build is almost done. I just have to manage this one little bundle here. It's kind of pressing on the side panel very slightly. I don't like that. Let's see. Alright, build is done. Actually, I'm gonna tighten up this one cable real fast. One cable is bothering me. And this is a pretty nice looking PC, so, you know, want to make it look as nice as humanly possible. I try with every PC, but especially white builds. It's annoying Because white builds, you notice every little cable that's out. So if there's any that like are off on a kind of a stranger angle, you immediately notice. Or blackout cases, I can hardly ever tell. There you go. And then there we go. Build is done. I think it looks really nice. Should I buy a low profile? I think they look nice. But also bad at the same time. I'm very mixed on them. If it's cheaper, I'll buy it. Oh, do you mean... Oh, that's a funny thing also with that build I was talking about. The $200 1660 Super build. Had to cut a hole in the side panel and do some dremeling to the case. I didn't have a Dremel. I used pliers and a lot of patience, and it was, you know... But I'm still very proud of that build, even if I murdered and made it look super ugly that one time. But build is done. Woo! This one, which I did not murder and make look ugly. Oh, I forgot to switch on the power supply, didn't I? Oh, no. Why are you not powering on? Is this unplugged? It is unplugged. That would do it. Ah! Whoops. Hold on. Okay. Well, I dropped one of the lights. That'll be fine. Ta-da! And it... Build is done. But, yeah, I mean, low profile, it just depends on a lot of things, but just buy what is the financially, like, price to performance. Looks amazing. Good job. That helps. Ooh, shiny. Looks great. Oh, pretty. Sick. I'm glad everyone thinks it looks great. I need to plug it into a monitor and still configure it. There's this one thing here. There we go. Yeah. Now, gotta update the BIOS. How long is the stream gonna be? It's gonna end in a few minutes. Also really nice looking, thank you. High profile, guy builds low profile PC. Dude, I wish I could, do interesting builds on stream. This was an interesting one. Had sleeve cabling, it has a nice LED strip up here. Like, this recessed lighting, I think, ow, I just cut my finger. Like, this recessed lighting, I like it a lot. But then, a lot of the builds that I do on stream are just kind of mundane. But, yeah, if any of you guys do a customer order, or like a custom order off of Zydats.com or whatever, you can ask me to build it. I'd be totally happy to. I think that's a thing that we do. I remember hearing it was a while back, but, yeah, I'll stick around for a few more minutes just to answer questions. Sometimes you gotta expand your horizons. Yeah, the pink is actually sick. We offered sleeve cabling, it looks nice. Are you okay? I'm assuming that's in reference to me cutting my finger. I didn't actually cut it, I'm not bleeding. But those fans are spinning pretty fast because it's probably just waiting in a weird state of BIOS, you know, so. That customer is going to have your DNA on their fans. There's no blood on the PC. I must emphasize that. There have been times, but like if you get cut open, sometimes there'll be a little bit of blood, but that gets cleaned with a lot of alcohol and completely sanitized because we don't want to just spread blood from across the country. You're so chill. I think I'm gonna end up becoming a part of my routine on Fridays. I'm glad to hear that. I enjoy the streams, and it's always great to have consistent viewers. Like T-Top Strav has been here 8 weeks, 8 streams in a row. Future clone right there, dude. That's like one weird fear I have of someone just randomly cloning me from DNA. I'm glad you didn't draw blood. Yeah, me too. That would have been a lot of cleaning. Talking like it's happened before. Oh, yeah, some people do get like some interesting cuts from PC fans. We have these really nice fans. You can custom order them if I'm not mistaken, if we still have them even. The Trites Rotas. They're like most premium fans that are not RGB, but at full RPM, those things are deadly. Damn, how TF did you know that exactly? Because, yeah, last time there was the notification where you were informed that you had a 7-week streak. And I think it was 7. I've talked more of the past bunch of streams than I did since following in 2020. I'm glad to hear that you've been enjoying the streams recently. Thanks for the antivirus info. Yeah, no problem. It's been a very fun stream. I enjoyed it a lot. I got that really weird screw as a collectible to remember it. So, anyway, thank you all. Oh, nice point, nice memory. I have the memory of a peanut. Yeah, my memory used to be really bad, but then it got really good randomly one day. Or maybe it didn't. Maybe I'm forgetting that I'm forgetting stuff. Who knows? How would I know? But, yeah, I'm gonna just toss the screws, keep these. Anyway, thank you all very much for attending. Same 3 p.m. tomorrow on Friday. Or not tomorrow, next week. I know what I'm saying. It's been fun. Y'all have a nice night / day / time zone equivalent. Morning. Bye y'all.